This is your daily briefing. You're most welcome to it. I had a cold. Yeah. He had a cold and now he's back and he didn't die. That's all boring. Spurs play Arsenal in the morning. 12:30 kickoff. BT Sport are the broadcaster there. Team sheet be out on here and on the Boy Hotspur and anywhere else. I'm available at 11:30 on the button. Late fitness tests for a number of Spurs players. Conte's being a bit cagey, totally get it, totally understand it. The Italian confirmed that some players had returned from international duty with physical problems, but when pushed for more detail, said, honestly don't want to speak about the injuries because I don't want to give the advantage to Arsenal. Yeah, and he's right to do that. Late fitness tests are confirmed and in the public domain for Hugo Lloris, Ben Davies, Dejan Kulusevski and Lucas Moura. So there, I think from the site I was looking at, it's a PremierLeagueInjuries.com. The worst case example there was one of those guys, Lucas Moura, I think at like 50%. So they're all likely to be in the squad, if not in the starting 11. Bookies have given Arsenal the nod. Gunners are 21-20, Spurs are 12-5. Draw is 13-5 if you want a bit of insurance. I'm not looking forward to the fact that we've got an early start. Spurs need to come flying out the traps against this lot, in my opinion. And so far, we've seen very muddled first half hours from Spurs, and complacency on this occasion could kill us. Quick look at the form guide. You can see there's not much in it. Arsenal, at a snapshot, have only lost in their last 5 to Manchester United, who are apparently on their way back. As Spurs managed to drop 2 points against the mighty West Ham. Here is my team for you. I'm sure you'll be fascinated to see this. It feels like pretty much the same team every week for every competition. There's no surprises there. I don't think anything's going to catch your eye. Prediction, it's got to be about how seriously Spurs take this. We talk a big game, but there's no doubt that Spurs are on course for another top 4 finish. We are, look, what cannot speak cannot lie. I tell you this every damn week. You look at the table, you look at the results, the numbers are there. But we're not playing entertaining football. We're not playing interesting football. And those are considerations, I know winning is the metric. I'm a big fan of that phrase. But by the same token, we've looked particularly unconvincing, especially in Europe. And you can't claim to be an elite side and then play in such a mediocre fashion when you play against somebody who's actually good. And most Premier League sides aren't all that at the moment. I'm erring on the side of a salvaged fiasco, going for the Desmond 2-2, 2 apiece. I'll leave you with this. It's the comedy item. I read it and I was coughing and all the rest of it, and I thought, no, I've misread that. So I've gone back to it with a clear head many days later. Alasdair Gold, what a cretin. Football London. Piece here he wrote, Tottenham Hotspur holding an option to extend Antonio Conte's contract at any time. Football London understands. Amid reports linking the Italian with a return to Juventus. So let's just be sure that we're not misinterpreting this, or I'm not misinterpreting. So Spurs hold an option to extend Conte's contract at any time, presumably by a secret amount, by another season or a year or something. And he goes on, Conte's contract ends next summer after this current 2022-23 season's conclusion, but there is an option to extend that deal. There had previously been suggestions that there was a rare two-way option, which would require both parties to agree to the extension. However, Football London understands that it is Tottenham who hold the option and can trigger it at any time. And I made the mistake, I have to say, of looking on this guy's Twitter thread, whatever you want to call it, and the responses. These people have had their brains removed. Slavery was abolished in this country a long time ago. the idea that you can turn around to let's paint it for how it would be, because we know the upside. Conte can't believe his luck. He's really enjoying it. It looks like he's going to win stuff because he wants to win. He only stays at clubs for a couple of years and he wins stuff and he goes. That's how they all operate these days, by the way. You know, the people watching the game who are over 12, over a mental age of 12 years, understand this. So there's no this building nonsense where people, you know, there's this sort of fantasy playroom scene where people are going to be at clubs for 20, 30 years. Doesn't happen. Couple of years, win stuff, move on. Because you need to be very zen about things. You need to be the change. Because once you've achieved a certain amount with a group of players, the overhaul required just simply cannot be sorted out by the clubs. So the coaches need to be the ones making the move. So we all know the upside to this. You know, Spurs win everything, home in time for tea and medals, and Conte commits to another period of time with us. But the idea that things are not going well and that Conte can be tapped on the shoulder one day as he's, you know, heading off to his luxury sports car and say, oh, by the way, Antonio, we've extended your contract for another 6 months, 6 years. But it's not going to happen. Absolute fantasy. And I don't care. This is where I am, you see. I don't care that this has come from somebody at the club. It's mind-bogglingly stupid, and only a cretin would share that information with anybody else. If somebody told me this, I would just say to them very politely, I don't think that's likely. I think that's ambitious. I won't be sharing that with anybody because I don't want to set fire to any credibility I might have. Spurs have a one-way option to trigger an extension on a man's contract. Yeah. Absolute cretin. Anyway, that's it for me. 2 goals apiece is my prediction for tomorrow. Good luck. Keep it Tottenham.